Hey Survivor, welcome to episode 180 of the Vibrant Survivor podcast. After I found out that the jury had reached a verdict last week, my body started shaking immediately and this wave of nausea came over me. It was just overwhelming and it seemed like it just came out of nowhere. And now that the trial is over, there's something else that I really didn't expect. The crash. Nobody talks about what it feels like or what happens when you've been operating in survival mode for so long and then suddenly there's nothing left to brace for. And we're going to talk about that today. But first, let's self-regulate with a 4-4-8 breathing exercise, if you'd like. And I invite you to plant your feet on the floor. Get settled in your chair. And we're going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 8. Ready? Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What do you notice in your body? Grab your notebook and pen, and let's dig in.
Hey Survivor, welcome to the Vibrant Survivor podcast. Do you want to disconnect from a narcissistic or toxic situation and heal? Are you Googling how to identify a narcissist, narcissistic abuse, and boundaries? Are you feeling stressed and lonely while trying to avoid being sucked back in and lied to again? Hey, I'm Leslie. As a busy wife and mom, I fell for the lies and manipulations of narcissists. I wasted my time, talents, and money on users who kept moving the goalposts. I wanted real relationships and business opportunities and to enjoy life with my family. Instead, I struggled with anxiety, panic attacks, and insomnia, and I couldn't trust my body or anybody until I took a holistic approach to healing. In this podcast, you'll find tips for healthy living, trauma healing, and boundaries so that you'll have the freedom, confidence, and inner peace to respond, not react, after narcissistic abuse. Take a deep breath in, let it out slowly, and just relax. This time's for you.
It's so crazy. After 8 years of anticipating this trial, the stress, hypervigilance, even in the aftermath of the murders, there's also been court appearances that I've made, some media coverage that I've seen, and just the emotional preparation of just how everything would play out, and adrenaline. Hello. Going from all of that, from the time of the murders up until, I'd say probably about last year, really, when the trial started. And now the trial went from about August or so up until last week. And now it's like silence, stillness, and it is surreal. It's so quiet. And it's like I've been running and running and running, and then there's like nothing. And it's kind of like getting off of a roller coaster, like exit to the right after going on this wild ride, and there's nothing left except to just, exit and, walk away. And it's like my body forgot or didn't realize what a wild ride it had been on over the past 8 years. Can you relate? The nervous system doesn't necessarily reset instantaneously. Trauma changes your body when you are exposed to prolonged periods of stress. It floods the system, and the hypervigilance that you experience kind of becomes your normal. And then when it ends, the adrenaline just drops, your body decompresses, and sometimes it can get worse before it gets better. Also, there are physical signs that may come up after the threat whether it's real or perceived, ends. Some things that you may experience when you go through a period of hypervigilance to like nothing and this just crash, you may experience nausea, like I did, shaking, which I also experienced, fatigue. You may have a headache. You may experience some brain fog. You may have insomnia. Maybe you feel emotionally numb, or you have this unexpected wave of grief that just comes over you. You may have a crying spell or two or more. I've had some of those myself, totally normal. You may have some gut issues, have some issues with your digestion, or you just may be completely exhausted after being under stress for so long. So your body may finally have a chance to process something that it didn't have time to feel or process previously. So why can it feel like withdrawal? I would imagine that this is similar, this kind of crash that happens once this stressful period is over with. It probably feels similar to coming down from a prolonged adrenaline high. And your nervous system became accustomed to vigilance, monitoring, preparation, anticipation, and now that stimulation's gone, mission accomplished. Your body doesn't know what to do with the silence. It's like, okay, what do I do now? Where do I go? What happens next? And interestingly enough, this is similar to what happens after narcissistic abuse. When that divorce is finalized, when the court case ends, when the narcissist moves on and secures another source of supply or walks away because it's too much work to try to hoover you back in or to get access to you, and they just go away and decide to look for another target that's kind of lower hanging fruit. When the smear campaign quiets down because you kept quiet, didn't try to defend yourself, and just kind of let it dissipate. When the calls, the texts stop, the spoof calls, when those stop. A lot of survivors, and you may experience something similar, expect everything to just be peace, calm, and instead it may feel more like emptiness or dysregulation or exhaustion or just emotionally confusing or disorienting. And it's not so much because you literally miss the chaos and the drama that the narcissist creates, but it's because your nervous system adapted to that level of operating or that way of operating. So just because the danger ended doesn't mean that your body instantaneously adjusts or believes that it's really ended. So here are some things that may help you when and if you experience the crash. Things like hydrating, drinking your water, maybe try infusing it with some fresh fruit, or even frozen fruit. I'm sipping on some right now. I've got some blueberries and some strawberries, a little pineapple, just to infuse a little flavor into the fruit and also take advantage of some of the vitamins and minerals. Nourishing your body with whole foods, making sure that you're getting healthy sources of protein. I made some sweet potato and black bean burritos for the family in an effort to meal prep for a busy week, and also made a delicious Moroccan stew that has two different kinds of lentils, green and red, and then some chickpeas in there. Really delicious. Super excited. Very good. And just things like getting sleep, having a routine around sleep. What helps you to wind down, to calm down? Is it a warm bath or a shower? Is it putting some essential oil like lavender in a diffuser, or putting a little sachet of lavender under your pillow to help you to sleep, or listening to some music or sound bowls or something like that to help you to calm down, or doing like a nightly meditation. Sunlight, watching the sunrise, maybe taking a sunset walk. That can be really helpful to help kind of regulate your body. Movement, things like walking or whatever feels right for you. It could be a bike ride. It could be, whatever you enjoy doing and that you'll do consistently. It could be doing some gardening. I went out to do a little weeding today and cover my plants because it's getting hot out. So I was able to put a shade cloth over one of my garden beds that's exposed to a lot of sun, and just try to trim off some of the dead pieces and do a little pruning and pick some fruit while I was at it. So something like that even counts as movement, and that's okay. Prayer and meditation, really sitting still, being still. And you can do a guided meditation that's narrated by somebody else, or just sit in silence with your eyes closed and really focus. And you can also write out, say, things to pray about, or put a piece of paper in your meditation space that has some things that you would like to see happen, and really setting your intentions in meditating or praying specifically about the things that you want. It could be with your health, or with the people in your life, or an opportunity. Also, surrounding yourself with safe people. And it could be professionals like a trusted counselor or therapist, or people that, say, are part of a support group that you're in. Like, I go to Celebrate Recovery every Thursday, and there's always small group afterwards. And it's nice to be able to let my hair down, well, what I have, with safe people who can relate, who get it. Or just even taking time to get away and spend time with safe people or a safe person. I had a wonderful girls' getaway with a dear friend. We went to Sedona, and I had the opportunity to show her my Sedona, the way that I like to do it, with some things thrown in there that are kind of more traditional. She had never been, so it was a whole new experience for her, and she came in with an open mind and open heart, and we had a fabulous time, and it was very healing for both of us. So things like that, spending time with safe people. It could just be even grabbing a coffee, or, having a conversation on the phone. It doesn't have to be complicated or expensive or elaborate, but the important thing is that it's somebody that you trust and who has really proven themselves to you and really taken special care with you and with your situation, your story, and really honored you in that way. Reducing your stimulation, maybe turning the lights down, or, being in a quiet space, and understanding that even that's a need that you have. If you're coming down off of, being hypervigilant and stressed out and all these things, and dealing with really hard situations, complicated situations that maybe have gone on for a long time, it may be helpful to you to spend some time in silence or to be in a calm environment. So those are things you might want to keep in mind. You might not want to listen to hard rock or, loud music. You might want to play some classical or relaxation type music, or you might just want to listen to nature sounds to try to ground yourself. Also, nervous system regulation, like the 4-for-8 breathing exercise that we do, and bilateral movement. And more importantly, just being gentle with yourself. It's not about having a checklist of a ton of to-dos, but really listening to your body, dialing in, and being gentle with yourself, being patient. I've had to do that too, even since the trial ended. Part of me was like, I'm going to go out and power walk and blow off steam and this, that, and the other and decompress. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to just grab the dog and the leash, and, he's one of my favorite co-regulators, and just take the dog for a walk and leave the weighted vest at home and keep everything light and just move. So, and it really helped so much. And I think it was really healthy for me to recognize my need to not, the temptation to kind of do more, but recognize my need to do less. I consider that great growth. So it's not about hustling. It's not about, instantaneously reinventing yourself. It's about recovery, your path at your pace. So now that this chapter of my life is closed, with the trial ending specifically, it feels kind of strange, not going to lie, but it also feels really liberating, and it feels like a burden has been lifted, and it feels very freeing, very clarifying. And so now it's time for me to take all the things that I've learned and to use that to help other people. And there are other people even in my own community who are kind of at the beginning of their journey, and they still have a long road to go. I know people right now who are awaiting trials to start, like in Preston Lord's case. And, having gone through an entire trial like that, I feel like I've learned a lot of things that can help other people who may be going through something similar. And for you, survivor, you can be that for someone as well. You can take that pain that you've gone through and turn that into purpose and be able to help others in a meaningful way. And that's where a lot of magic happens. Remember, survival kept you alive, but purpose helps you thrive. Thanks for tuning in, survivor. Your recovery matters. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.
If this podcast has helped you understand who and what you're dealing with, sharpen your discernment, and move forward on your healing journey, share it with another survivor. Help me help others by leaving a review for the show. And let's connect on social. Take a screenshot, share it in your IG stories, find and tag me at The Vibrant Survivor, and I'll share your post too. I look forward to connecting with you on IG and seeing you back here. You're not alone, and you're not crazy. Know who you're dealing with, know who you are. Take care, and I'll meet you back here next week. Bye-bye.